Hi, Tim.
Hey, Mike.
So what's the program you want to talk about?
The program is storytelling for Daikin, and it's a webinar, and or one part of it is a webinar, and it's a very interesting program for the trainer community within Daikin.
Great. And what is the main concept here?
Well, the main concept is kind of split into two. Number one is, of course, storytelling. And number two is the topic of microlearning and the fact that microlearning is a reality coming to all trainers, whether they like it or not, over the next 5, 10, 15 years. And so what we're going to do is create a microlearning process out of the storytelling topic. And this is part number one. Everybody gets to watch a short intro film to introduce them into the topic.
Excellent. And then what comes next? What is the process for the program?
So the process for the program is intro film, and then we're going to send them a couple of films with a few stories to kind of lead them into the topic. They have to watch those. Then they need to think of their own story, bring that ready and prepared to the webinar itself. Then we do the webinar where you and I will, tell stories and tell them about storytelling. And then after that, they go into groups of 3 where they tell their own stories and see how those would work in the context of internal training, external training, or to a certain extent, even in meetings as well. And so that's the process behind it. But before we conclude, I've just got to say why storytelling is so important. And for that purpose, I'm going to tell a mini story. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
I had a friend called Steve. He was actually a boss, and I was a 26-year-old trainer. I was training salespeople. They were all 40 years old. And so I had a problem with credibility. And Steve said to me, you have to ask the salespeople for stories. Get them to tell you situations where they were there, get them to give you examples. Find the good ones and then start repeating them. Repeat them once, twice, 3 times. And then when you feel comfortable, change it from the third person, this happened to a guy I met, into the first person, this happened to me. And that's the way that you learn storytelling that you can use in front of a lot of salespeople in certain situations. And so I've been taking this particular story with me for years because it was very instructive in showing me the value of telling stories and the fact that it didn't really need to actually happen to you because the story is good for the learning process in and of itself.
Excellent. Thank you, Tim. And final question. So who benefits the most from joining this program?
Trainers benefit because storytelling can be a transport mechanism for the topics that you want to teach. Any internal presenter and meeting owner can benefit because it takes the rational message and links it to the emotional message, which is then very good for remembering. So I would say that the target audience is huge. I personally think that everybody would benefit from a bit more storytelling in their lives.
Excellent. Sounds good. Thank you, Tim.
Cheers, Mike. See you later.